Well, if you're gonna stay around in this town and keep safe, then you gotta. No, that's.
Oh, thank you. Papa.
Thank you. Over one measly steak, and you would have killed him for it, or he would have killed you.
You sound exactly like James Stewart, man.
Well, if you're gonna keep your wits about you in this town, you gotta start packing a gun, Pilgrim. But you ain't exactly the type.
All right, well, welcome to Talk Tactic.
Talk Tactic.
I wanted
with no S.
Yeah, I wanted it to have an S, but
no S.
Jonathan is a no S kind of guy.
We're doing a review on The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance today. It's about 3 alpha males.
Right, so we kind of want to take this discussion. We've been reading some books that have been recommended to us. Okay, the purpose of this discussion is to use the information in books that have been recommended to us for reading and filter this movie in the context of those ideas.
You have anything you wanted to add to that? Okay, so it's about 3 alpha males.
Okay.
John Wayne is the hero alpha, and Lee Marvin. Oh, no, that's not the way I want to put it.
3 alpha males rise to power, and within their conflict, 1 alpha male remains.
The alpha male who sacrifices himself for the good of society. The alpha male who sacrifices himself for the good of himself. And the alpha male who sacrifices society for the good of himself.
3 alpha males rise to power, and there, within that conflict, 2 fall and 1 remain. How about that?
Say it again. So this is interesting. I'm going to ask you a question, Michael.
All right.
What is true power? Is it the brutish sort of raw masculine power of John Wayne and Lee Marvin, or is it the more society, the more social power and knowledge of James Stewart?
We're talking about the dynamic of power. And here you have a very big contrast between James Stewart's character and John Wayne's character. So you have this guy who has the ability to put a stop to Liberty Valance's tirades or his tyrannical sort of reach over the city. And they come in contact fairly often. They know each other. They know of each other. And John Wayne, because it's not to his benefit to try to stop him, it's a risk to him, an unnecessary risk. He knows that Liberty isn't going to try to kill him because Liberty knows that the one person who really probably could kill him is John Wayne. So because of that, he leaves John Wayne alone.
I agree that John Wayne holds the most power because John Wayne, he could kill Liberty Valance or he could let him go, and he could allow Liberty Valance to kill James Stewart.
Yeah, he could.
And then he could kill Liberty Valance, and then he would have got the girl if that happened.
Who, James Stewart's character?
John Wayne. If he would have let Liberty Valance kill James Stewart and then killed Liberty Valance, then he would have taken all of his competition out.
Yeah, but I don't think John Wayne even saw Liberty Valance or James Stewart's character as competition to him, because John Wayne sees himself as the frontiersman who is really the person who's staving off the evil men like Liberty Valance just by his presence, just because he's there.
That's true, but John Wayne gives James Stewart a warning.
What does he say? What does he say?
He lets him know that
what does he say?
That Hallie's my girl. That's what he says. No, that's James Stewart. He tells him that girl is his girl, and he lets him know that. So I think
I don't remember that part.
I think he sees him.
But when does he when does he say that to him?
When he takes him out on the range and he's gonna show him how to shoot. He's gonna show him how to shoot the gun.
Okay, but by this point in the movie now, a lot of time has progressed. A lot of time. John Wayne's character has gone out for over a month or so, right?
Yeah.
He's come back. James Stewart's had all this time with her and the rest of the community. He's established a school. He's taught a lot of people to read. So, yeah, when he comes back, he probably does see like, hey, you know what? He's done a lot. This is a pretty impressive guy, smart guy, and he's been spending a lot of time with my girl. I think eventually the power of the state, everybody abdicates their power to the state. And as that happens, and that's what James Stewart kind of represents. He represents the encroaching state on the free man's range.
Yeah.
John Wayne has this sort of presence that is very attractive to the women in the movie. And not just the women, but the men all around him have a high respect and loyalty to him, right? He's kind of like a man's man. James Stewart's character
is a ladies' man. John Wayne comes in and he says, "Still protecting the ladies, I see."
He does say that, yeah. So you have the three main characters, right? Liberty, John Wayne, and James Stewart. But you also have a whole host of different guys that are very much unlike those characters. So you have the main woman. So you're talking in terms of alpha. So she's a very forward-thinking, pull herself up by the bootstraps, is able to take care of herself kind of person.
That's true. But she's never overpowering of any of the alpha males. She is overpowering of the beta males. So, like, for instance, when Andy Devine comes in and he's like, "Can I have another biscuit with a plate of some steak and maybe a little gravy?" Mm.
Yeah.
And she's like, "One steak on the house!"
Yeah.
It's like very overpowering. You never see her behave that way towards the alpha. Well, actually, she does behave that way towards James Stewart, but not after he faces off to Liberty Valance. Yes. After he proves himself to be, in her mind, to prove to be a real alpha, she doesn't treat him that way.
Okay, so define for me, what is this? What is the meaning of an alpha and a beta? What does that mean?
Oh, yes. Well, it's something that you can say in one sentence, I'm sure. An alpha, the alphas, okay, so the town is the whole movie is about three people, three alphas. It's like all the other men in the town don't even exist. So the three alphas have their own thing in their mind, and they're going towards that. And everybody that's in their way is just, it's like they don't exist. Right. Okay? So that's like the simple idea. And her too. She's got her in her own way, right? She's got a whole restaurant full of people, and she's got to feed all these people. And anybody that slows her down and gets in her way, that's a problem for her.
Okay. So from what I'm getting, what my understanding is, alpha really has to do with how the characters pursue their wants and desires.
Yes.
And how they aren't kind of unafraid to show their true nature to the society around them.
Right.
Where the other people are kind of subservient in a way.
Yeah. Even when James Stewart is getting robbed at the point of a gun, he still doesn't back down. Right? Even when he's under physical violence and he has no way to defend himself. But he still doesn't back down.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Okay. All right, I see what you're saying.
Whereas contrast that to when Liberty Valance walks into the restaurant or to the bar and he asks the guys if they're in a hurry to eat, And then he's like pulls out one of their chairs and he's like, "Are you gonna? Do you have to have you want this table?" And then they all get up and leave the table.
So here's the problem with the city. You have a bunch of people in the city, and you have this one small group of people that are causing all the threat to the society at large, and they're unable to get together and organize. And you have John Wayne's character, who should be like the marshal or the sheriff or whoever.
But he's not willing to sacrifice himself for the good of society.
Right, because
he's not willing to be the marshal. He's not willing to be a delegate to go vote.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want to do anything that's not for himself or his woman.
Right, if it's not within his, if it's going to burden him or if it's going to take him away from continuing his own self-interest, John Wayne's character is definitely not going to obligate himself. He's not going to obligate himself. Now, James Stewart's character, that's his prior motive. I mean, that is his motive, is to bring this sort of system into place for especially the other men in the town who can't stand up for themselves, or the women, and provide them a system to empower them.
That's right.
Right. So he sacrifices himself for the greater society.
He does.
So that means that Liberty Valance sacrifices society for his own personal interests.
Yes, he does.
Okay.
And James Stewart is the only one who survives.
Man, you're just like jumping ahead, like you're just ready to jump ahead, man. You're just like, and someone dies.
But you want to know the real kicker?
You want to know who shot Liberty Valance?
Well, you got to watch the movie for that.
Oh, man. Welcome to Talk Tactic, where two men discuss... Yep. 3 alpha males rise to power. Wait a minute, that's not right. Well, that is right.
1 alpha male
and
rises to power. 2 alpha males get crushed.